Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
All right. I'm making sure you all have the hazard mitigation plan. So are we, what,
I would like to table that until we get more information. You know, it's not spelled out here exactly what all this entails.
no, not that's, we're done.
Okay.
I'm
No,
just
sorry.
making sure you have the plan and the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I would like us to send back your proposed numbers and see what happens.
Okay. So this, then what we need is a motion. Well, I have the Cantor numbers. Who has the St. Johnsville number?
Let's see.
The one with my scratch marks on it.
I don't have it.
Oh, I gave you
I
the
got a
original
copy, but
back.
without
No,
the
not the
scratch
original.
marks.
Yes, I did.
No, I
gave-
know, I'm
oh,
saying-
Oh, what you gave me, what you had in the copier.
No, she scratched off, she did some editing, and
I kind of sent it around the
Oh.
table.
Oh,
We're all
okay,
looking
'cause
at
I
the
didn't
editing.
see it, because I don't have it on this one.
Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, that's all right, I'll just do some quick math.
Looks like what I saw.
So, we need the motion to authorize me, the supervisor, to enter into contract with the Canterbury Fire Department, in these amounts. Who wants to make that motion?
I make the motion.
Here, say the, so will you say the amounts?
I make the motion that Sarah, supervisor.
hang on, I'm sorry. Could you double check year three? Because your number's actually higher than their number on year three. I think you made a,
Yeah,
So just say, 1.9% increase per year.
I make the motion that Sarah proposed to the Canterbury Volunteer Fire Department alternate numbers as counter offers in the amount of 1.3%,
1.9%.
1.9%
increase.
increase,
And authorize me to enter into contract.
and authorize her should those be, well, no conditional, and authorize her to enter into contract.
I'll second that. Verbose.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Now, do we want to do the same with St. John's?
Yes, I
You
do.
do this one, this
Okay, you got it. Madam Supervisor, I'd like to make the motion that we give you the ability to enter into a contract with the Village of St. Johnsville Volunteer Fire Department for fire services with the proviso that it's a 1.9% increase per annum over the lifetime of the contract, per year, for the lifetime of the contract.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Didn't do much better, my friend.
All right, and before I leave tonight, I will also figure out those numbers and we'll get back to the two and let you guys know how it goes. It goes fine, but again, we have time to work on this and deal with it. Also, before the end of the night, I will make sure I send out that email with the hazard mitigation plan. And just let me know if you have any questions. Also, if you, I attended the meetings, but if you have questions about process or, you know, the bigger picture, Bill Rohr took on the project, and it was not an easy undertaking.
Did this intricate plan deal with human threats as well as natural ones? I mean, there are conditions under which I could see social unrest and stuff like that is happening.
We didn't, when I was there, we didn't talk about it at all. It was that at all. It was really weather related.
the disturbing part that I find is that not only do they want us to outline our ability to gain funding, but it also, it allows us for the state and federal FEMA to have overreach. As a partner, we sign on to this, we agree that the county, FEMA, and the state we're partners in it, and there could be some overreach where we don't have a say in what they do
Well,
during
they
the disaster.
become the principal authority.
Like, we should always be our own lead agency, which is what disturbs me when I read this.
If you think that we have the capacity to be a lead agency in
Well-
a reasonable way, and Montgomery County certainly has more staffing and expertise
Well, sure,
when it
but
comes to an emergency.
There are
so-
horror stories from Louisiana about things that FEMA did that were probably not at all ill-intentioned, but they're large errors,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of the hurricane experience.
I just wanna make sure we're not handing over our say. And the plan almost seems like we're handing over our local say to other,
Yeah.
okay, on the mitigation part where it says, you know, are we doing everything we can to keep culverts clean and stop flooding and dig ditches? That's fine, but I just didn't like I think it was section 9,
Okay.
so we can discuss it, okay?
So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can
just
see
make
that.
sure you all educate yourselves on it before
Sure.
the next meeting,
Right.
and thank you for, you know.
Yeah, I'm not
letting
trying to
know.
make people paranoid, I'm just saying that things might get sticky in the United States, you know, it's possible. And I know I'm a paranoid 71-year-old, but still.
Well, and it's perfectly fine for us to have different opinions, that's
Yeah.
why there are 5 of us, so.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. With that, moving on to the justice report.
I'll make a motion to approve the justice reports.
Any discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, and then the abstracts. Were there questions on it?
Just one that I didn't sign. I'd like to know what this Service Education Inc. is for the annual license and maintenance. And it's $11,087.
No, 1,100.
1,087.
No,
It's for the courtroom program, and just like to know what we're paying. It doesn't really say.
well, that looks like they're taking a cut of when somebody pays them by credit card.
Gosh.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, it is amazing, right? We even lose more of a percent, right?
Well,
Okay, I don't know, I just was curious what this was, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, this is for the courtroom program that they have. I have a BAS that I do my town clerk with. You have a business service administration or something else, it's not. It's software,
Okay.
because it says a maintenance agreement for the courtroom program. So that's the software program.
Okay, so we're paying $1,100 just for the renewal of the software.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, I pay for the town clerks, and then they pay for the bookkeeper has one that they pay for the maintenance of it.
This is just curiosity, Linda, but do they have a mandated system to do this all over the state or something like that?
I don't know, I just know that is a service, it says right there, it's just for a service program.
They got a page attached to that, it looks like they're also processing credit card.
Well,
Yes, they are processing,
okay.
but I think if I'm not mistaken, because I talked to Ron Digert on it, because people ask me if I do it, you know, if I would take credit cards. And I think when they process, the person that does the credit card has to pay the percentage. It doesn't come through the.
Oh,
Right.
The town is not liable for the
Wow.
percentage.
Right, it comes out of the it's
Yeah,
it's
out
like
of
a
the person.
premium to use the credit card.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's right for us to take it for taxes, because that poor person's paying another 3% or whatever. It's not a low number, and you
No.
think the 3% on 4 or 5 grand.
Right,
You know,
and
that
that's what
starts
I
adding
said,
up.
that's why I never pushed it for the taxes, to, to take it for the taxes.
I bet you there's a state mandate to use that, or something.
Well, they have one company, I
They
think,
need
that's
the
going on.
economies of scale if they
Yeah.
can do it.
But, okay, thank you so much. That was my question on the abstracts. Go ahead, please. If someone wants to make a motion to approve.
I'm gonna take motion.
I'll second.
Any more discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. With that, I think we're ready to,
Madam Supervisor, just one more thing. I know I'm out of sequence, but our November meeting is the day before Thanksgiving. Do we still want to have it that day?
Can I
or-
do that? No. Let's see, oh, yeah, you're right.
It's the
Okay.
day,
We always usually do change it if
I
it's the day
just
before.
want-
that's why this always works out. So we always, every year, have the budget meeting that week before.
I'm just mentioning it.
Have a regular meeting.
We do the same thing with the December one too.
Yeah.
Does that mean,
So that way we'll do the public hearing the 10th. We don't need to have the special meeting. And then we'll do the regular meeting on November
16?
16th.
We're gonna do it a week early, November 16th.
Yeah, at 6:30. And then that way,
We don't have to have that.
All
yeah.
right, so
We do this every
scratch
year.
the special meeting after, just the public hearing on the 10th then.
what?
Yeah, but we still have to have a public hearing on the 10th. Yeah, that's what you just said.
Right, the 10th will be a public hearing, and then you'll vote on it on November 16th then.
Okay.
So the regular meeting is changed to November 16th.
I like that better, then there's time to digest it before having a vote. Same thing, we'll change the,
So the public hearing's gonna start at what time?
6:30.
6:30.
Okay.
well, this year for the, let's go, this year, the Wednesday falls on the 28th, so
That's fine, that's a good change, sure.
For December's okay?
that goes. And would you get that notice in the paper for?
Sorry for jumping in there.
The, also the change of the regular meeting
Yep.
for November?
Yep, I'll get them both in together.
Great, yes, thank you,
Okay.
Chris, for that flag. We might want to consider just doing that as part of our, when we set the annual meeting,
To change that,
because it happens every
Every
year.
year.
every year it happens, so.
Okay, any other discussion before I open it up to public comment?
It's a good time to discuss, probably get some kind of storage because of our memory card issues, going on the memory cards.
I have it in my budget, I can just buy it, but actually, we don't have Radio Shack anymore. We need an external hard drive,
What do you need?
an external hard drive to save our video.
Sarah, Paul Dodd brought this up and it was
Yeah.
included in our packets. I see we have agreements. Is
Yeah.
that something we need to?
We
Executive
have a
session,
bigger
maybe.
problem of, sort of bookkeeping procedure, which I just haven't had the time to pay
Haven't
attention
been able
to.
to solve it.
So next month I can focus on that.
I wonder if, as was mentioned, I wonder if Neil, could he be activated in some
There,
way?
yeah, he has to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not, there's some outstanding things that just need to get
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
But,
I can certainly come down, let me know,
Yeah, there's some flow issues, I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And we're gonna solve those, because I don't want us to pay, he's right. It's $500 takes a lot of time for us to make in
Yeah.
this town, and
well, and it's also these other checks, there's a problem, we don't have a staff person who's here with them regularly,
Well, do each of you carry keys to this building?
yeah, but it's in
I
the
have a
process, I don't think it's in the
Oh.
signing.
Yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
pro-
you can't get the check up unless there's staff here to do that, is that the idea?
bills come in at certain times, then they're only worked on at certain times of the month, correct?
The
Couple of nights a week.
payroll is a recurring
Right.
cost.
Well, we're hoping, I think once we go to electronic timekeeping, that's gonna help some things too. And I think that would.
Well, let's have this conversation next month. I just, I'm aware of issues for sure. I just don't have the bandwidth to deal with it right now, but I can take care of
The
it.
agreement was settled, like you already agreed on that.
Yeah, it's all set.
Well, yes, but somebody saw fit to include it in our packet, so I thought I'd
Right.
ask you a question about it.
And different grievances would be handled different ways anyway, so.
Who is the union handbook, does that? I guess when I talked to Tom Quackenbush, he says to me, says, well, what's it say in the union handbook? I said, I don't even have a union handbook, so I don't know what the process was. But
You don't have the collective bargaining agreement?
Nope,
Oh.
nope, I don't have a copy of it.
None of us did.
I don't have a copy either.
The agreement that we all signed, or we all.
Well, I didn't retain a copy or wasn't given one.
No, I wasn't the only one. I went through all.
We signed one of the originals that went back
Yeah.
to the union, and then we should have retained one, and Artie should have one. Do you have one, Artie? Okay,
No,
we need to fix that right away.
That's not good.
You
Wait,
need
no,
to
no,
know.
no, this is impossible. There was no way that we could have approved a collective bargaining agreement without seeing it.
Well, there may have been a cover sheet that we signed, I'm not sure.
We had the full agreement, because we had to sign the full agreement, but I don't think we retained copies for everybody that
Yes,
we
we
should
did
have.
see
Oh,
it.
are you saying
We
you
did
don't
see
have
it. We don't
a,
have
you don't have
copies.
a hard copy?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Or even a
Kelly
soft-
said she
Well,
didn't
you
have one
just,
either.
I know that you do, so.
No, I don't.
Or even a soft.
No, I don't have a copy.
We sent, I think we sent back our copy to the union.
I
And
think
Kelly
that's what
doesn't
we
have
did.
a copy either.
But let's just be clear, everybody has to.
Do you have a copy?
email.
I don't have a
We
copy.
just because it's not in.
Yes,
No,
we have it.
I don't even have an email.
I do not have it on
Well-
email.
I don't have it on email either.
I have the final email from Michael Richardson and from Tom
But
Craig.
you were dealing with it, correct?
Correct.
You were-
I can forward it to everybody, that everyone has copies.
Right.
We did peruse it before we signed, because that went out, but what we don't have is sets of hard copies here to refer to if anyone wants to.
Or any kind of copy of my paper.
Okay, so we should do that, and Artie should be familiar with it up and down, because he's the frontline manager that deals with the union representatives, which is the workers, so we need to make sure that he
Yep.
knows what's going on. So, okay, I will forward, you have a copy, I have a copy, we'll forward them out and make sure everyone has copies. And please print them out. And Linda, I'll send you a copy, you can print it out, it's about, I think it's about 38 pages.
All right, and then I'll make a copy for Kelly to have on hand.
Yes.
Kelly had, right?
Kelly does have one, she told me she did.
We had a whole meeting to go through
Give her
that.
one, maybe.
Yes, you guys have a meeting to review it. And I know I just don't think we have hard copies in all the places we probably should.
Okay. Forwarding that right now. Great, any other business? All right, and we'll open it up for
Can I
public.
just add, the judge does have a trial here, the week of Friday.
Okay,
He's anticipating a lot of people.
okay. All right, let's open it up for public comment. Skip.
I was gonna ask if we had a fire contract with Freda, that the answer came out in the meeting. That's a pretty important thing, because we have a lot of residents on the north part of this town, and they can be there quicker than anybody else. One other thing, I can't say that we can always give them what they want, more and more money, but we are extremely fortunate to have the fire protection that we've got in this town. And I've watched it for over 60 years. And in a period of time when fewer and fewer people want to volunteer for anything, we are very, very fortunate. The other thing is, as far as a disaster in this town, the flood often comes up. There is, I suppose, a possibility of flood coming from the river. The most likely place is Wagner's Hollow. If those dams in Fulton County burst, whoever lives in Wagner's Hollow is gonna be totally wiped out. It's the most dangerous part.
Even Scary, even the ones Scary, the bricks.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just telling you that they try to keep those dams up, but it would flood an awful lot of people out. It's gotta be a part of the flood control thing. It probably is.
Thank you, Skip. Paul?
I've only got a couple things here as I was listening to, this goes back to the fire business. And I'm with Skip. Your father-in-law and mother-in-law lost their house in fire, I lost my house in fire. We know what the casualties and consequences you pay and the need for a fire company. But if one fire company can stay at 2% or less than 2%, why can't another one? The point I want to make is the math of the issue. At 4% in 18 years, your $34,000 would be close to $70,000. If your fire companies decide that, well, you got away with 4% this year, we'll then go into an arithmetic progression of raising those interest rates. God knows where your fire will be in 18 to 20 to 30 years, because they ask for 4 this year and get away with it, 3 years from now they'll ask for 6. Okay, you might say 5. If you understand, I'm not going to go into details, and I can't formulate in my head, but I do know that on a 4%, it's going to double within about 18 years. And you're taking $33,000 figure. I know these companies got tremendous equipment. I mean, between Canterbury and Fort Plain, they got millions of dollars worth of equipment sitting there. It's contrary to EFRADA, which, yes, I do support. They have nowhere near the equipment those two companies have. But my point is, watch out for that sneaky little 2% increase, or that sneaky little 3% increase. I'm relating this to the whole board. Maybe people are aware of how those things work, but it can get you really, it's like buying a house, figure it out sometime. And but work it down, and I'm agreeing, we need the fire contracts, no problem. I don't want to see ever us have to try to have our own fire company here. You're dealing with millions of dollars worth of equipment, buildings, and volunteers, where you're going to get them from. So yes, we do have to pay for what we have, but be careful of how easily you spend the money. And I don't just refer to you, sir, I mean the board, and boards in the future, how we spend the monies to facilitate these things. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? Nancy?
So on the wind turbine law that you just approved, in it, in that process, the planning board identified the application to include a site plan with the seeker documentation. And site plans, the town charges $50 per application. The wind turbine is also a special permit. So I'm just bringing it to your attention that asking, do you want it to just be, the application to just be the $50 for the site plan, or do you also want an additional charge because it is a special permit? I'm not making a recommendation, I'm just bringing it to your attention.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? Paul?
Just one quick question on this fire thing. You're going back as one, just so I understand, at 1.9. What happens if they turn around and say no? Do we have any option in between that? Or if they stand rock hard with what they get, is that,
You don't.
yeah?
I mean, we're not gonna go contract with Andrew. You know. Go ahead. Sandy?
The fire department could also go around and start charging us for every time they respond here too. And that could be far more costly, because they do respond to car accidents and sick calls and so on and so forth. They respond a lot over to this area. So just the gas alone getting over here is phenomenal. So you might want to consider that. Don't, cut your nose off to spite your face with this. because they deserve every penny that they get. I mean, we are over budgeted for spending money on our attorney. We need to take that money and put it on where it really counts for everybody in this community, and that is for the fire department, because they respond to a lot of calls, a lot more than maybe we realize, and maybe they're charging us for what they've serviced us too. You don't know. So you might want to ask that, because they could go to charging us per call, because I think they've done that in the past.
Any other comments? Anybody else before Skip speaks again? Okay, go ahead, Skip.
I wonder, a fire department certainly must have to have a budget too. Does anybody ever see how they spend their money? I think it'd be interesting.
Certainly will be.
All right, any other comments?
I'm gonna answer what Sandy said. I do know that they're required to go to the 911 call, so,
Yep.
you know, whenever there's a 911 call, the fire department has to go, even if they just send one truck or an emergency vehicle. So, those are included in,
We're just doing our fiduciary responsibility, which is to keep.
no, I know, I'm just adding to what Sandy said, they don't just go for fire.
And it would be interesting to know how many calls we had in the township, and it'd be interesting to know how many.
That's what they should do at this next meeting, is give us a breakdown.
They should give us some breakdown, and I think it's okay for us to do our due diligence and ask them for that. I think there's nothing adversarial about it whatsoever. I think we're just doing what we're supposed to do.
We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to close this portion of the comment.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Still makes sense.